super tall. So good afternoon, everyone. So I'm vertically challenged, so if I stand below, then I'm too short, but now I feel a little tall, but it's great to be here. So my name is Tran, and I am the medical head for Biopharma and Ophthalmology Clinical Development at Astellas Pharma. I really want to thank you for joining me here today, where I can share a little bit about Astellas and also share about our updates in our ophthalmology pipeline. So in terms of disclaimers, I am an employee of Astellas, and the content of this presentation is accurate and current as of today. So at Astellas, we are building our end-to-end capabilities to advance cell and gene therapies, and we are doing it in a number of different ways. First, we think through the highest unmet medical needs from discovery all the way to the end of the life cycle. So we are a one R&D organization, meaning that we no longer have early development, research, early development, and late stage. We're just one R&D team working across the life cycle. So on the left side, you can see our cell and gene therapy focus is centered around ophthalmology, oncology, and rare diseases, which include CNS and neuromuscular indications. Central to this development are our platform technologies, which include pluripotent stem cells, universal donor cell technology, and adeno-associated virus vectors. In looking at ways to expedite drug development and save time, we are implementing a human-in-the-loop platform, and we integrate technologies such as AI for drug discovery and capsid design, and humanoid robotics platforms to overcome technical challenges and variability that can occur with humans. At the same time, most importantly, human expertise is at the top of this model. This platform has already shown success in our small molecule drug delivery, reducing the time it takes from hit compound to acquisition of drug candidate. So we reduced this time by approximately 70% in successful cases. And we hope to also expedite and see similar success in our cell and gene therapy programs. Lastly, we've built a world-class network of capabilities spanning the entire value chain, including with our manufacturing and research infrastructures. So our centers of excellence include a Scuba Research Center in Scuba, Japan, Universal Cells in Seattle, Washington, our West Coast Innovation Center in South San Francisco, California, our Sanford Manufacturing Facility in Sanford, North Carolina, and Astellas Institute of Regenerative Medicine, located in Westborough, Massachusetts. So alongside our capabilities, our progress is also due to our commitment to collaboration and open innovation. Over the past decade, we've been building our internal capabilities through external partnerships with like-minded innovators. As you can see, nearly every year for the past 9 years, we have acquired, in-licensed, or partnered to build our expertise. And we really wouldn't be here today without the vast network of talent across various companies, which has allowed us to learn, to grow, and to expand. But it's not just about the science and technology. We know that regulation and policy needs time to catch up to the innovation, and there's just so much work to do. For that reason, last year, our SVP Richard Wilson, here in the audience, joined the ARM board, thus adding to the collective voice in championing progress for regenerative medicines. So we have so much to be excited about with key milestones on horizon for our investigational assets in cell and gene therapies, including establishing proof of concept for our cell program in geographic atrophy, obtaining long-term data readout from our gene therapy program in Pompe disease, and filing an IND for our X-linked myotubular myopathy program. So switching gears, I'd like to turn your attention to the work that we are doing in ophthalmology. So vision impairment or blindness affects over 1 billion people worldwide, and it's expected to rise as our population continues to grow and age. So this represents a pressing health issue for patients, for caregivers, and the healthcare system, with the estimated annual global cost to productivity to be around $400 billion, which is a tremendous amount. Our next generation modalities, such as cell and gene therapies, offer new hope to many patients suffering from hard to treat conditions. So as mentioned yesterday in the science, the Science Slam for ocular indications, the eye is ideally suited to receive gene therapies and cell therapies due to the accessible location, the relatively amount of small product required in order to achieve therapeutic benefit, and its immune privilege characteristics. So local administration also minimizes systemic exposure and potential toxicities, and non-invasive technologies such as imaging tools can be used to assess anatomical changes and potentially functional changes as well. So Astellas is bringing our in-depth understanding of the biology of the eye with differentiated platform technologies to explore approaches to protect and or restore degenerating vision. So I will briefly introduce our differentiated platform technologies one by one. So first, we are utilizing the field's first allogeneic pluripotent stem cell therapy via derived human embryonic stem cells. So these cells are differentiated into retinal pigment epithelial cells, or RPE cells, that have the ability to restore vision. Taking it one step further, we have a unique industry-leading universal donor cell technology, which works in an immune cloaking manner to ensure that our PSCs evade immune rejection in order to achieve efficacy target in the eye. Moreover, our AAV platform is differentiated to develop and ensure efficient delivery of therapeutic protein to the eye and prevent the loss of vital retinal ganglion cells, which connect the eye to the brain. So this neuroprotective approach offers the possibility of preserving vision to people with glaucoma, which is one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness. So we were very excited to introduce this program last month at the American Glaucoma Society meeting in Washington, D.C. So in addition to the cell and gene therapy approaches in ophthalmology, we've also been pioneering our RNA aptamer technology, which has demonstrated specific binding to key underlying disease, drivers of disease, with low likelihood of inducing immune responses. So our pipeline contains potentially transformative therapies for a range of eye diseases where there is high risk of blindness with limited or no treatment options. We are exploring using these next generation modalities to target various stages of diseases, from slowing disease progression, including protecting vision and preserving further loss. Now, we have already demonstrated this with our FDA-approved product, avacincaptad pegol, or ACP, also known by trade name as Izervay in the US. We achieved FDA approval in 2023, and just think, before 2023, there were no treatment options for patients with geographic atrophy, which is a huge cause of blindness. And so we're so encouraged to see the benefit patients are deriving from its use, and we're looking at ways to maximize this RNA aptamer technology as much as possible. However, we continue to challenge ourselves and think about, the potential to restore or even improve vision with our lead programs. So these programs are targeting geographic atrophy, and geographic atrophy continues to be a target because, as many of you are aware, the complement inhibitors only slows down progression but not necessarily improves your vision. So we also targeting glaucomatous optic neuropathy and inherited retinal diseases such as Stargardt's and retinitis pigmentosa. So let's look at this life-altering disease a little bit more closely. So again, GA is an advanced form of age-related macular degeneration. It's one of the leading causes of irreversible vision loss. Patients initially experience distorted vision on the left cartoon there, where you start to have these dark and blurry spots on the periphery, and then it progresses to more central vision loss. And these central field defects is where you can't see the center of people's faces. Sometimes if you're trying to read a cereal box carton, you can't really read the middle. And so patients have to rely on eccentric viewing or their peripheral vision, which is lower quality vision. And eventually, the progression is severe that it leads to total vision loss. The stages of vision loss has a devastating impact on patients' lives. So following a diagnosis of GA, the median time to develop the foveal or central lesions is 2.5 years, which translates to substantial impairment in your central vision, leading to loss of independence in activities of daily living, such as driving. So as you can see, nearly 2/3 of patients after being diagnosed with a GA lose the ability to drive within 1.5 years. And that is really devastating for this vulnerable population and their families. So we believe that an allogeneic approach to cell therapy offers significant benefits and opportunities to treat ophthalmic diseases. So by pioneering an off-the-shelf approach, we can create a source of cells that are ready to use by any patient at any time. Because of this, they have the potential to reduce some of the time and costs associated with this modality, where we know that cost, scalability, and manufacturing remain critical challenges that we all need to overcome as a field in order to realize the potential of cell therapies. So we're taking a long-term view, systematically building capabilities across the discovery, development, and commercialization spectrum to ensure that we have the infrastructure in place to make scalability a success, so that as many patients as possible can benefit. This journey started in 2016, and we've made progress in ensuring that our cell lines are compliant with global regulatory requirements, because different countries have different requirements, and we want to develop products globally. We've upgraded and expanded our master cell bank. We've streamlined our manufacturing process. We've developed the immune cloaking feature for our next generation product. We've improved formulation, streamlined our drug processes, and decreased the cost of goods, and continue to make improvements in our surgical approaches as well as manufacturing to support future commercial supply chain. So bringing this back to GA, the blindness is caused by the degeneration of the RPE cells that don't regenerate. So if you recall in the cartoon pictures, those dark areas they represent scotomas anatomically, and scotomas are made up of dead RPE cells. So simply put, dead RPE cells are dead cells, and dead cells can't see. ASP7317 is a human embryonic stem cell-derived RPE cell therapy, and it's the first ophthalmic allogenic cell-based therapy to enter a clinic, and we're currently recruiting patients into our phase 1B trial. The RPE cells are transplanted by vitreoretinal surgeons below the retina, close to the scotoma or dead cells. And the expectation is that these newly transplanted RPE cells fill in this area and graft and allow vision restoration. So as mentioned in a previous slide, we have learned tremendously from running this program and this trial. As you can imagine, we've learned everything from clinical trial operations and logistics, optimizing surgical tools and techniques, how to get the cells from research to the sites, and we've learned how to make our manufacturing much more efficient. And we're so excited to be sharing more next month at the Pre-Arval Retinal Therapeutics Innovation Summit in Salt Lake City, Utah. So earlier, we touched on some of the innovation partnerships accelerating our progress. This collaborative spirit also sits at the heart of our priorities. So partnering with patient groups and various organizations who are working hard to make medical innovations more accessible. It's about the patient voice, the science, and enabling access. So some examples of the patient organizations we are working with in ophthalmology include Prevent Blindness, Retina International, the Carroll Center for the Blind, the International Agency for Prevention of Blindness, and last year we also sponsored FFB to host an externally led patient-focused drug development meeting where they met with the FDA and other key stakeholders to share the experiences of patients with GA, to talk about the challenges that they have in their everyday lives, the remaining unmet needs and current standard of care. So we are constantly looking for partners who can help us deliver on our mission and vision for patients. We also partner with scientific communities to accelerate science, including the International Society for Stem Cell Research, Lab Central, and we're in year 2 out of a 5-year collaboration with Mass Gen Brigham. And lastly, we are members of Mass Bio and Biopharma, working efficiently to move the field forward. So our areas of partnering interest include cell and gene therapies and regenerative approaches in ophthalmology and beyond, innovative cell differentiation of pluripotent stem cells, technologies enabling efficient and safer delivery into the eye, and improvements in manufacturing. So in conclusion, we know that patients are counting on us, and every day of vision loss is one too many. We have made a long-term commitment to people with vision loss. You know, we've been working in this space for nearly a decade now to build a brighter future for which we hope that retinal diseases are treatable and ultimately preventable. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention, and I'll be happy to network throughout the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.